Alright, so here we are. I got the motor's out, torn apart. This is a new crank and block. I've put my forward rods and pistons in it. I'm waiting on a set of lifters for it already. And it's still got the tick cam in it. Here's all the other parts. Cleaned out my oil pan real good. All this other stuff. Just sitting here waiting to go back together. So that block came out of a 03 or 04 Tahoe. It had these pistons in it and rods. So Gen 3 pistons, Gen 3 block, Gen 4 rods. That was interesting. They're still dished pistons, but I thought that was pretty cool. So at least I got a good set of rods and pistons for another build. I don't know that I'm going to push them real hard, but at least they're the better rods. Let's see. Over here, I'll show you the crank, and I think this is why I had low oil pressure. So one, obviously, I think the curtain I was using to cover the engine when I was building it on the stand, my cat used to lay on it, and all the cat hair fell off of it. Don't mind this block. And then it ended up clogging up my oil pickup tube with cat hair. I'm like, that's awesome. But here's the crank that came out of it. You can see that lip right there. And so from here where the bearing doesn't ride to here where the bearing does ride, right there where my fingernail's at is the lip. It's about a 6 or 7 thousandths difference. Like, that was pretty gnarly. The main bearings, I don't know if this was it or not, but most of the main bearings look like absolute crap. The rod bearings, they had some wear on them, but they weren't out of spec. They just looked ugly. You can see down in here, that's the number 4 cam bearing. It looks like trash. The number 5 is just worn like normal. 2 and 3 or 2 and 1 look the same, and number 3 is not in there because it came out with a cam. And then I lost it, fell out the window as I was playing with it going down the street. So there's that. But I think this block, all in all, is in decent shape. Looking at that bore for the number 3, I think I can put another bearing in it and be all right. But it ain't going to go back in this car like that. I'll use it for something else, or maybe it's just a spare motor. But here it is, big empty hole. So when I pulled it into the garage this time to start pulling stuff apart, it only made 5 psi cold idle oil pressure. I was like, whew, that's rough. It's definitely time to go ahead and tear it apart. But I think what happened is the cat hair clogged up the pickup tube, starved the motor for oil, messed up main bearings, messed up those cam bearings, and it just got worse and worse. When I was at Bowling Green, I'd get maybe 15 psi, like at the end of the track, so it was getting pretty rough. And the whole way back from Bowling Green, it was about a hour and 45 minutes or so, I think, for me to get back, and it was only making 10 psi. And by the time I got back to the house, it struggled trying to make that. It did mostly 5, I think, by the time I got back here at idle. But there it is. All this mess right here, got to go back into that guy, and then he'll go back in. So wish me luck.